What was your experience? You used this FIP type of reasoning and these drawings. Was it helpful to you?
Well, what was extremely helpful is that from the client perspective, they had the intention to set up an extremely functioning service organization, 3 different vendors involved. So they thought, based on the setup of the contract, that they have covered all the actual topics that relate to information and value exchange. However, what we noticed by applying the VIP model framework is that we focused on different perspectives of information flows, knowledge flows, value streams within these specific networks. And just in mirroring the information towards the client and actually showing what is going on and how information and knowledge flows are actually working within this model, that was extremely helpful just to provide information about the strengths of such a model, but also the weaknesses. So that model helped us towards the client to show where are the actual lacks within the multi-sourcing environment.
Okay. Now you will be wondering that we discussed the FIP model, so we didn't discuss the P. And why didn't we discuss the P? Because this is all digital type of processing. So normally if we would do this analysis for another company and we would look, for instance, in the supply chain, the physical supply chain, you complicate this figure more by also incorporating the physical processes that are involved. Now, thank you, Albert, for contributing to this. This is an example how we use FIP. One important thing is that you always have to look if the different representations, and we did now draw them separately, in the end are covering the whole domain. Because if you don't see arrows going up and down, or are the arrows lacking, then probably there's a problem. I can give you an example of a company that thought that they could sell certain products to people, but they didn't have the intellectual property rights on this. This was based on work that journalists were doing, and the publishing company thought we can sell it, but they were not the owner of the intellectual property rights. So if you draw an imprecise, incomplete FIP framework, you will end up in problems. We know that it fails if you don't do this type of work in detail. Thank you for your attention. Good luck for your assignment.